Good morning, everybody. We are at Varn Park fishing today. Water temps are at about 70 degrees, so the Pompano are running in the area. So we decided to just get a couple hours here out of the weekend, see if we can make something happen. We brought the 3 long rods I have. One's a 9.5 footer, one's a 10.5 footer, one's a 11 foot. So we're not set up if any kind of bluefish or anything are running with lures. We're strictly focusing on mainly Pompano, but obviously if a whiting or something comes by, then we'll absolutely welcome it. So I'm just starting out here getting rod set up. I brought a couple frozen shrimp just to get started because we are at low tide, so the sand fleas aren't always the best option or around to easily catch. So I just want to get 3 rods in the water, then we'll go look for a couple sand fleas, and I'll see you guys back. There we go, look at that. Good amount of bait. Get that up in the net, and then we'll come back again for a second scoop, and then we should be good. One thing I haven't mentioned, so we're gonna change the camera angle for a little bit. The rod closest to you guys is short, the one in the center is a long rod, and then the one furthest away is the kind of a in-between. When I first get to any new location, I just like to set a couple different distances out from the shoreline, just to kind of target in on where the fish are sitting. So if we start getting strikes at any point on any of the different distances, we'll look to cast pretty consistent out there. So just a small tip on how to find the fish when you first get there, because sometimes they're in close, other times they're further out. It really just varies on the day. So casting at a couple different distances allows you to cover a little bit more ground until you start to hone in where they're sitting. So right now all the rods have FishBites and a piece of frozen shrimp on them. That was just to get started. So once we get another scoop of sand fleas, we're gonna look to change all that over so all of them are rocking sand fleas. But for the time being, at least we got something in the water that can hopefully instigate a strike. So just so you guys can see what it is that we're doing here, we have a 3-ounce pyramid sinker today. And then we have on this specific Pompano rig, there's 3 separate drops all with a float. You can see the FishBite scum already on there. All we're gonna do, gonna grab a sand flea. We're just gonna take and hook it through the bottom. That way it looks like that orange FishBite scum is actually an egg sac. So that should hopefully instigate a bite. We're gonna do that for all 3 hooks. And then once we're done on this rig, we're gonna go ahead and convert the 2 other rods as well. And the beauty of sand fleas is obviously it's the most naturally occurring bait here on the beach, but it also sits on the hook a lot longer than shrimp does. Over time, shrimp just wears down. Sometimes the current and the motion of the water can just take it off. Other times the fish comes in and just barely gets it, not on the hook, but is able to rip that piece of shrimp off of it because of how soft that body is. So sand fleas, if you can get them, absolutely a preferred choice. So because of how low the tide is, usually this beach is great at high tide. You can see how big the drop off is. So I'm just gonna toss it up as far out as I can. So we'll fish 2 rods long, 1 rod short. Got a bunch of sand fleas right here right now actually, so I might come down with the rake again. Sand fleas are a little bit slimmer pickings today, so I don't want to lose an opportunity to get on a school of them. So just want to say thanks to those of you that have already subscribed to the channel. What I'm really trying to do here is spread a positive message about fishing, get the youth outdoors. Hopefully one day my kids going to look back on this, sorry, my kids, the second one on the way, are going to look back on this video and a couple of the other ones I've posted and get some inspiration to go outside, enjoy nature, and kind of just enjoy everything it's got, whether it involves fishing or just walking on the beach. Just really want to encourage the next generation to actually spend that time outdoors instead of getting stuck inside behind a computer screen, which is getting way too easy. So if any of you are interested in helping spread this message, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really means the world to me. And then we'll see where we go. So thank you for watching. All right, well, let's check the long rod. Oh, there's a fish. Let's see, be something good. Oh, still on there. Still on there. Ah, good whiting. Hey, we will take it. Actually, quite a nice one. Wait for him to calm down a little bit. He absolutely swallowed it. Let's get some pliers out, see if we can't get this hook. It's gonna make a nice fish sandwich for sure. There we go. Let's see, there's no size limits on these, but let's just measure him anyway, just for the sake of it. It's a nice, what do we got there? Tip to tip, 14.5-inch whiting. That is what we like to see. Look at that beautiful fish there. So that's definitely going in the cooler. There'll be some fish tacos later today. All right, so my father-in-law just let me know he's going fishing up at Crescent Beach tomorrow. There's been a bit more Pompano sightings this Monday, so I won't be able to go. But we're gonna see if we can't get him some sand fleas here, because Crescent Beach doesn't, generally speaking, hold sand fleas. So what we'll do when we fish up there is come to Varn. First thing, oh, there's another bite. Make sure we're still recording. We are. Now they're starting to go. Again, guys, this is why it pays off. So we did the short again. Let's see, another nice whiting. Just bring the rod straight over. Ooh. Perfect hook set right there in the corner of the mouth. Let's measure this guy out too, just to see what we're working with here. Got a, what's that, 13¼ inch. Again, no limit, but that's a second fish taco, so the wife can eat tonight too. All right, welcome back everybody. Thank you for watching the first part of this video. So we're now in the kitchen. We have our gutted and descaled fish, like I showed you guys on the beach. So we have our two whiting. What other stuff we have is pepper, salt, some smoked paprika, and then I have taken the liberty to pre-chop some stuff. Most of this is actually from the garden, so we have some fresh mint, fresh parsley, fresh chives, a sliced jalapeno, a sliced red banana pepper, and a sliced habanero pepper. All that stuff is from the garden. There is a sliced lemon, and there's 4 tablespoons of butter. And that's pretty much all you're going to need for this. I'm also cooking some rice to serve with it, but this is going to be the main course, at least for the fish. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take the fish, we're going to score it, going diagonal along with the body lines, just about 4 or 5 times. We're going to repeat that on the other side. And what this does is obviously opens up the skin, so we can get some of that flavor in underneath. We are cooking these whole just because it usually stays nice and juicy that way. It's a lot harder to overcook the fish, especially in the oven. So we've already preheated our oven to 350 degrees. Once we have this ready, the fish are going to go in there for about 20 minutes. And then they're going to be pretty much instantly ready to serve. And you'll just put a whole fish on the plate. The skin will lift right off, which I'll show you guys later. And you can just eat it with a fork. So now that we have the fish scored, what's going to happen here is we're going to put some salt and pepper on it. And a little bit of smoked paprika. Same thing on the opposite side, salt, pepper, and paprika. Go ahead and rub it a little bit. Try to open up some of that, the scores that we've made, just to really get the seasoning in there. That's how it's going to absorb into the fish the best. So you can see all that seasoning that's just packed in. So a nice beautiful color on it now from the smoked paprika. What we're going to do with the rest of these things is we're actually going to stuff the inside of the fish, which is going to give us a lot of extra flavor because it's going to be able to absorb into the meat. So we're going to start by getting 1 tablespoon of butter in there. Get a slice of lemon, a couple peppers, and then we'll just mash in some herbs as well. Because the butter's going to obviously melt as this is cooking, all of these flavors are going to spread into the foil as well that we're going to wrap these in. So it's going to start getting into where we've scored the fish as well. So this isn't just going to stay in the inside here. So now that we have our fish on the foil, we're going to go ahead and put a tablespoon of butter on top of each fish as much as possible. It's probably going to slide down, which is fine as a meltable anyway. I just like to start here on the top so it can melt into the top half of the fish as well. We'll get a slice of lemon over each of them, stick it in there. And then we'll just put the rest of the herbs and peppers into the foil. All right, so now we have our fish pretty much ready. So we're gonna go ahead and just fold it over. You don't wanna go super tight on it because you actually wanna allow it to steam. So what you can do if you get the two ends, you can fold it all the way down, creating a nice tent. And then you'll take your end, you can just kind of crumble that up. It doesn't have to be pretty. Same thing on the other end. Crumble it up nice and tight. And now we have a good tent for the fish. So you can put it into the oven just like this. Obviously with fish, you do have some sharp fins. So if you're a little bit more conscious, you can put a pan underneath. I like to cook it like this because if you have a pan underneath, then the air isn't going to surround it equally on all sides, so you get a much better cook this way. So we'll go ahead and slide this in the oven, and in about 20 minutes it'll be ready to eat. Hey everybody, so we had the fish cooking for 20 minutes. It's been resting for about 10 minutes now, just to let it get down to a touchable temperature. So we're going to go ahead and get the foil opened up. So there you go. You can see it's all cooked through, just comes right off the bone. So we're going to go ahead and peel this using a fork and put it into some Tupperware. I'll have this for lunch tomorrow, and then I'll show you guys the end result. All right, so I did realize it'll be fun to actually measure out how much fish we got out of these two in terms of weight. So we got a scale, we set it to 0, and then we're just going to pile up the meat in there and see what we end up getting to. Look, the skin peels right off, making it super easy. So usually I would serve this on a plate with rice and some sort of veggies on the side as well. But instead I'm going to have this for lunch tomorrow. So we're just going to get it into a Tupperware. I cooked some rice earlier, so I'm still going to have it with rice. Just not served in the way that I usually do. All right, everybody. So we have picked through all of it. So we ended up with essentially almost 3/4 of a pound of whiting here, just only meat. So it's a very nice yield. As you can see, that's beautiful white flaky fish. Just the way you like it. Doesn't have that fishy flavor to it. Very clean tasting meat. What you can do with this, fish tacos, great solution. Fish quesadilla. You can make a fish dip, but that's more reserved for oily fish in general. What I'll do with this is just have it plain with some white rice and a couple vegetables for lunch tomorrow. Again, super easy recipe. You can see what the yield is compared to if you're trying to fillet it while it's still raw. So I strongly suggest cooking fish whole. But thank you guys for watching. And as always, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And keep spreading this positive message about fishing. Thank you.